I think we are live. It's a good way to open. I'm early. Let the record show I am early. No sound? Showing sound here. Yo. Terry says he has sound. What's up, Terry? What's up, buddy? Okay, Metal Dog has it now. Good. Yeah, the sound turned off. Yeah, it happens. Make sure your OFF switch is in the ON position. Oh, I'm having fun. What's up? What's up, dudes? We got Whip. All the regulars here. Terry and Whip. And Dan. Guitar and everybody. Greetings from Tokyo. What's up, Tokyo? What's up, Steven? Hello, Germany. Thanks for staying up. I know it's 1 a.m. I was going to say it's about 1 a.m. in Germany. You're about 6 hours ahead. You know, how do you like the Chapman? I love the Chapman. I love it. It's it's a beast, you know. What's up, Eric from California? What's up, Dale? Play Rat, Way Cool Jr. It's too early for requests. Besides, I don't know that one. I don't know a ton of Rat. Rat was hard. What's up, Colorado? Loving the tone? Yeah, I like this tone. What's up, Nano? What's up, Charles? Tactical? All the regulars are here. All the regulars. You got Mitch and Rob and Jacob and everybody. It's good. R2, R3, of course. Natch. William Marshall, go Leafs go. We'll see. Yo, what's up? Sounding really good on that Chapman, says John. Sounds good. Greetings from Brazil, says Renato. Went by a little fast. Still working on the album, yeah. I'm halfway through one song. How's that? Is that for progress? I'm just kidding, but you get it's just slow. It's so freaking slow. Where's the green telly? We could break the green telly out later, but I'd have to get up out of my chair. In arm's length is the Dan Electro and the Harley Benton P90. That's been the one that's closest to me lately. Merrimack, Mass. What's up, Merrimack? What's up, Phil? What's up, Lando? And up in Ottawa, Canada. My condolences to the citizens of Canada. My God, I heard about that bus crash, and man, I nearly wept. It's tragic. It's tragic. I felt so bad. With young kids, too. I mean, sounds like it's pretty bad. That just sucks. Greetings, Toronto. Again, extended to all Canadians. Not Buffalo. You're close, but not quite. What color is that headstock? The headstock is actually like a brown because it's a veneer of ebony, I believe, or is it rosewood? I think it's ebony. I think everybody's steering clear of rosewood right now, even on a decorative, So I believe that's a slab of ebony, and looks nice. It's classy. It's like wicked classy. Classes the whole guitar up. What's up, Guitar Techs? Hey, what's up, Peter Dunbar? There's that fantastic green telly. It's close by. It's over there somewhere. Actually, it's kind of under a few things. Mostly t-shirts. Got a lot of weird shirts you pick up at trade shows. And, I run them past the kids. They're like, no. Okay, that one. What's up, Newark? What's up, John? Album still in the works? It is. What tuner is this? This is the Unitune by TC Electronic. It's like the Polytune, except it doesn't do the Polytune. That's the only thing it doesn't do is the Polytune. It's just like the Polytune without the Polytune feature. So you can't hit all strings and see which ones are out. You have to do it one by one. But it has the best light logic of, I think any of my tuners. I really like, not only is it accurate, it's got to be accurate, but it does a really good job telling you how far away you are from being in tune. And it's pretty good. And it doesn't jump all over the place, and it seems to pretty much nail it. So I really like the Unitune. Do you still own the old Ibanez Artist? I do. Still got it. In fact, it's bad when you pick up a bag and you're like, oh my God, there's a guitar in this. What is this? And you open it up and you're like, oh my God, it's the Ibanez. I must have taken it down, but I think it's back. Is it over there? It's not. See, it's not out on the floor. It's in a bag somewhere. I probably did that because I was worried about the flood and I wanted to get that one up off the ground, and it's probably got taken to the back room and put up way up on a shelf, if I remember correctly. What's up, California, Jeremy? Good to see you. What's up, Frank? Good to see you. Zombie Rocker. All the regulars are here. It's always good. Greetings to Utah. What's up, buddy? That was Ron. Yeah, you like the Snark better? You think the Snark is a little bit more, you think it's a little easier to use? Yeah, I like this one, but I get the Snarks. But, Snark has a lot of variation. So, which Snark, right? Because they get like 4 or 5 different models. Any new guitars on the horizon? None that I know about, but, maybe the carbon fiber acoustic. Those guys were in touch recently, but I just gave them my address. I said, whenever you're ready. And they're like, yeah, we got to see inventory and all stuff like that. So, whenever you're ready. But I have what I've been digging lately is Blue Cat software. They've been pretty awesome. I've been checking out that. I'm not running through it tonight. I'm running through TH3. But at some point, I'll have to do Blue Cat and do a big run through on that. I've been liking that. And Helix 1.5, I've been trying to dig that. 1.1, I didn't like it. I'm going to be straight up. I did not care for 1.1. I'm sure 1.0 is just as bad. But in 1.5, they changed something. I think it was the way they handled cabs. And much better. It sounds much better. So it's only going to get better from there. So, looking up. Oh, Sinner O is here. Yeah, artist ditties. Well, the new album be titled Pixie or Steve from Boston. Oh, that's a great question. Maybe a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Maybe there'll be appearances by both, right? Hey, Steve's still waiting on a video about seeing Van Halen on 1984 tour. He talked about it a bit on the yeah, that was a crazy weekend. I actually saw them twice in the same weekend. I saw them on Friday night. They played Friday at the Worcester Centrum. They played Saturday night in the Worcester Centrum. And they filmed the Panama video Friday and Saturday night. And at the Centrum. So parts of the live shots are from the Centrum. Very quickly, like a few seconds footage here and there. Because I think they did a few venues. And then I saw them Sunday. I didn't go to Saturday's show. I went to Friday's show. I missed Saturday's. And then I saw them Sunday at the Providence Civic Center. I guess it's called the Dunkin' Donuts Center now. And I don't even know what Worcester's called now. I don't even know. DCU Center? Is it DCU? Digital Credit Union? Yeah. I can tell you this much. And it's a long story because it was those crazy shows, but they were so much better on Friday than Sunday. They were sort of out of gas on Sunday. You could tell. I mean, it was having seen both shows. Friday they came out on fire. I mean, it was like, what? It really was. I mean, they just exploded onto the stage. It was like, oh my God. Yeah. You know who came out? And I was like, I thought it was one of the best openings it really built. And then all of a sudden they just like burst out. They had a curtain up and they were sort of behind a sheer curtain. You could kind of see their silhouettes. And they started playing and it sort of just built up a crescendo. And all of a sudden, boom, they brought open the curtain. Now the game was the Black Crowes. And I was like, oh my God. That was like a hell of an opening. What's up, Todd? What's up, Quentin? All the regulars are here. Ben? Stroopwafel? We had a round of those recently. Yeah, maybe too much food. I think they were just burnt out, yeah, by Sunday. Man, they were just, you could tell they did not have the same energy that Friday night show had. I have compulsive guitar buying disorder. You know, I've been refraining from buying guitars. At this point, I just want them sent to me. But, you know, that gets hard. Like this one. This one was just sent to me. But, you know, tragically, I have to send it back. It's a good-looking guitar. Oh, it's good-looking. What are your thoughts on Neil Sean's playing? He's a killer player. You know, I always had respect for Neil Sean's playing. What's up, Seattle? Brian? Thanks, Intimidator. No, you rock. No, you rock. up, Chandler, Arizona? In Grimsby, UK. What a name, Grimsby. Sounds like a character. Grimsby. Steve, do you think Kiss is planning a farewell tour with all members? Seems like they're reconnecting with all members, even Vinnie Vincent. You know what? I think they should do it for the fans. You know, let's face it, their fan base is getting older. And, you know, why leave money on the table? Let me talk directly to Gene and Paul. Why leave money on the table? So, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking there is a value proposition here. That's all. So if you could just leverage the nostalgia for all things Kiss, I think they should do it, and they should go out with everybody. Bruce Kulick, anyone who's ever been in the band, and you know, go out and do like a few different shows. And by that I mean like a few different lineups throughout the same night, right? So they come out with the original Kiss, and then you know, maybe transition into, you know, bring Bruce Kulick out and do some of the, you know, the 90s songs, you know, in the 80s songs, really. I'd love it. Bring Vinnie Vincent out if they could do it, but you know, it could be tricky. It's a lot of personalities. What do you think of a 7-year-old wanting to play old school Motley Crue? All the power to you. My kids, they weren't so into it. They're like, yeah, sounds kind of old. Like, though my kids do like Queen, and Aerosmith, you know. Steve, do you still have the Kramer signed by Steel Panther? I do. I do. What's up, Georgia? Jason from Georgia. Ace has to drop like 25 pounds if he's going to be the spaceman. He probably wouldn't be. I suspect that he wouldn't be in full costume. I suspect that it would be like what the Stones do with Mick Taylor, where he comes out for a tune or a selection of tunes, but he's not really in the band for the night. So Kiss comes out with the current lineup. Then they bring out, you know, Ace and Peter, and they do a few tunes. They go back and rest, and then they bring out, you know, Bruce Kulick for a few tunes. Then it's back to the regular band for a few tunes. Then they all come out and jam out the last song, which, let's face it, is going to be Rock and Roll All Night. I mean, come on. See, I can be a program manager. And done. Yeah, they do. Yeah, have it dress in the dress to kill suits, right? What's up, Mexicali? Renee down in Mexicali, Mexico. Hey, Steve, do you think Gibson will become a Chinese company? I seriously doubt that. Steve, can you please play the Diamond Hailfire? That's actually pretty close. That's right there. Right off cam. So do the Chapmans live up to the rumors? I think so. I think so. You know, at the end of the day, in a very real sense, if it's a 6-string guitar with humbuckers and a stop tailpiece, you know, there's countless guitars with that same configuration, right? At the end of the day, it's just, what do you like? What floats your boat? And I could see this working for me. You know, I like the lines on it, right? I like the carved top. Look at that carved top. Oh, it's so hot. And you know, in the back, look at that. Jesus, get a room. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, and it's got a nice neck. The neck is nice. What's up, Dayton? You know, any Wall of Voodoo stuff? I don't think I do. I would have liked that song if it had that tone. Keep saying the guitar has to go back when it remains in the arsenal. I know, but not. I think before I go to Dallas, which is the first week of May, so by the end of this month, it most likely will be gone. Dallas Guitar Show should be awesome. I got to talk to Ryan from RNA Music, because he lives actually not too far from there. So, I mean, it'd be a shame to be in the Dallas area and not visit his store. But I fly in Thursday. I'm there Friday and Saturday, and then I fly back Sunday. So I don't know that there's going to be, you know, time to do. I mean, I'm thinking maybe Dallas Guitar Show Friday, maybe half a Saturday, and then Saturday night head out, you know, in the afternoon, head out to see Ryan. I just know one thing. Prepare your barbecue pits, okay? I'm there, you know, I'm going to say 10% guitars and about 90% barbecue. So get ready, because I haven't had really, well, we actually did have some barbecue open up around here that's pretty good. Blue Ribbon opened up down in Dedham, and so that's actually pretty good. But for the most part, barbecue around here sucks. So, you know, maybe Tennessee's down in Weymouth. But the one in Natick or Framingham there, they're not as good. I don't know. Anyway. I don't want to go off on a barbecue jag. I'll get something in my eye here. Ugh. How's it looking? Pretty bad. There's something in there. Something in there. With my eyeball. Besides my eyeball. Did you play in Boston in the 80s, and with who? No. You know, I did I play in the, not really. You know what? I was in school a lot. I'm like ridiculously overeducated. And I just paid it off. That's a lifetime of repayment. But, yeah, I was in school for a lot of the, pretty much all the 80s. potato pancakes, down in Texas? Okay. Yeah, give me, if you're from the Dallas area, you know, just, hold on, I gotta get my foot over here. Much better. You know, throw some places up because I will be there. Yeah, I was a professional student in the 80s. I kind of was. Yeah, my major was economics. I just bought myself a meat smoker. Make your own barbecue. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. He's way into that. And, you know, I think he would say that, you know, it's got to be a moist heat, right? Low and slow, but moist. And, you know, you throw it in there and then you just take care of it all day. At the end of the day, you have a giant slab of meat. The great thing is around here is that, you know, we have Costco and I actually have a butcher. And I could go there and get like a Boston butt or something like that. Something you can't just get at the supermarket, right? You have to go to a butcher to get it. If you want to do real pulled pork. But Costco's pretty good. You know, they have a lot of different cuts. And for steak, they're some of the best, I think. The only place you can get prime, really, other than the butcher. And they're a lot cheaper than the butcher. Got a Masterbuilt 40 with propane smoker, yeah, and then you got, and, you know, and then right, then you're like freaking out about wood chips, and you know, right, right, it's right down a rabbit hole. You pick anything out there, and trust me, there's a rabbit hole to go down. Later, Mr. Bissy. Thanks for hanging out, bud. You missed the Hilltop Steakhouse. Yes and no. The one up in Saugus was great, but they had one down in Braintree, which is the one, or Weymouth, which is the one we most likely went to. That one kind of sucked. That one wasn't nearly as good as the one in Saugus. Who's a better singer, Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth? Oh, let me think about that. Oh, that's tough. I'm going to go with Sammy. Let me toss a coin. Sammy. Any opinion on the Silver Sky? I like it. It's been getting a lot of hate out there, but it doesn't really look like a Strat. It kind of does, but it kind of doesn't, right? It's a little chunkier. I thought that they mixed it up. It's got a little scoop down there, and the headstock's completely different. And I talked to Robert Baker about it. He said the neck is nothing like a Strat. And he's a Strat guy. He knows Strats. He's like, it's not like a Strat. It's a different instrument. So, you know, it's funny because a lot of people are like, you know, show us something new. And then when you do, they're like, yeah, but not that. It's like, well, okay. And I think he was saying that, like, he got the same flack when they came out with the DC-3. A lot of people complained. You know, it's a Strat, whatever. But, and maybe even the 513, right? They're the same thing. Sort of like a Strat, really even like an Ibanez, you know, copy with the humbucker, single humbucker, and the very split variations. But, you know, I think it looks kind of cool. It's a little pricey. I think for that kind of money, I'll be honest, I'd probably want like a bit of wood, like a nice flamey flame, not just the paint, but that's just me. What type of humbuckers would you put into a Squire Telly? I like Duncan's. I think Duncan makes a damn good pickup. Especially for a Telly, I might be leaning more towards like the 59s because it's a nice spank to it. It's a bright sound. But humbucking, so I'd probably lean towards like a JB in the bridge and a 59 in the neck, or even just a pair of 59s. I also like the PAF Pro from DiMarzio. That's sort of a low output again for a Telly. The PAF Pro is very different though from the 50. The 59 is brighter. The PAF Pro has more of a mid push by far, without a doubt. Gibson CEO says creditors want the company, not the money. Well, of course he's going to say that because he's about to lose his company. So, yeah. As far as I understand, it's secured credit. So, yeah, they want the company if you can't produce the money in the time in which it's supposed to be paid out. One of the, what's up, Scotty? One of the things I think that hurt them, I don't know how true it is, but I think Moody's was talking that there was some money due maybe last year or in 2016 that got slightly accelerated, and that really started the tumbling dice, right? The house of cards sort of falling with them. I don't know if that's true. No one seems to know because they're a private company. So this is all just, speculation and hearsay that's out there. The other thing that's interesting, though, is that, they really pursued that case against that British firm. Was it not JHS Customs? Was it? John Hornsby Skews. And they pretty much lost it. And that was, just looking at the paper that was filed in that case, it was millions of dollars, in legal fees. If not easily $1 million, maybe millions of dollars. Because there was a lot of appearances, and it was a lot of writing, and it was teams of lawyers, and it was litigated for like 4 years, and then blew up on the stand, and they settled. Funny how that happens. Candy Roberts says I had to give up music. Carpal tunnel syndrome is a bitch. Yeah. Thanks, Music Therapy. Glad you could stop by for a little bit. Steve, changed my viewpoint. I'd rather have a variety of 6 different styles with $300 guitars than one single $1,800 killer guitar. Yeah, I mean, I was like that for the longest time. And then after a while you say, maybe I'll treat myself to this or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, turn this off. A little heater going. You can do really well with a low cost instrument, especially on the used market. Really well. You don't need an $1,800 guitar. You might want one. That's a whole different debate, though. But needing one and wanting one are two completely different things. So you don't need it. You could get by with, you could get a pretty decent, playable, able to intonate, certainly comfortable to play in with sound fine guitar for $300. You can. They're out there. Like I said, especially on the used market. Any experience with tone rider pickups? I do not, sorry. Steve, who do you want Maple Leafs so Devils in the first round? I don't even know. I haven't been following hockey at all. I just know that the Bruins had like a little streak going there for a while. They were on fire. Yeah, Leo has a Variax. Someone was saying Leo has a killer guitar with a lot of different sounds. He has a Variax, so you can go from a drop A, drop C, drop whatever the hell you want, and it can just set it to whatever tuning you want, and it sounds killer. So he's been working with Line 6 and that Variax, because when you're live, you can just play the same guitar, and you don't have to switch out guitars and worry about tunings and all that tech. Okay, Krell Bar, hope you're feeling better. I needed my Majesty Artisan. I regret nothing. Yeah, see? Yeah, if you got it, spend it. Why not? It was harder when my kids were smaller because it was just non-stop everything. But which guitar is that next to you? Which one? This one right here? That's a Carvin. And that's a 60s player strat. And then you got the Mini. And then you have the Harley Benton. Good thing. Brain cramp. But that is Carvin right here. In my 3D green screen background. It's costing me millions of dollars to do this right now. Do you know some good books on music theory? There's actually a great book, I think, on music theory called How to Write Songs on Guitar by like Ricky Rooksby, something like that. And it spends a lot of time on just talking about like chord progressions, and you realize that there's just a lot of these very standard chord progressions, and I don't know if it's a he or a she. It might be a she. I think she shows that she'll say like, well, here's like this, like here's a 1-2-5 progression, and here's 15 songs that use that same progression, and you're like, oh my god, I guess that really is the same thing, So I think that's a good one. That one always comes to mind because it's really well laid out about how like everything's sort of constructed. There's a great music theory book. I think can't think of it. MAAT. Jeez, I can't think of the name of it. I'll look it up. I'll get it for next time. But I can probably look it up right now. I could probably do it right off this file server. Just go right to the old network. Oh yeah, right there. Then we go here, and then to sheet music. Where is it? MAAT right there. MAAT. Yeah, this is it's called All About Music Theory. It's Hal Leonard by Mark Harrison. That's actually a pretty good book. That's a pretty good book. All About Music Theory, a complete guide to understanding music, from novice to expert. And again, it talks about songs that use certain intervals. All You Need to Know. Mark Harrison. That's a good book too. So there's two. Does Tone King just show up? Someone just say Tone King? Let me see. Tony. I see, I see Terry. Maybe people were just talking about him and maybe he's not here. Steve, any idea when the Chapman British Standard Series will go on? So I don't. Just check probably their website. I think would be the best place to know. I don't have no insider info on that. Unfortunately, Harley Benton DC Custom Thoughts. I like it. That's the sort of the PRS looking one, right? I thought Henning's looked amazing. And again, you just got to set them up, right? Play Gojira. I don't think I know a single Gojira riff. Sorry. Going a little fast here. Hold on. I think a lot of people are talking to each other. Anyone know any Telecaster guitarists with thin necks who used to playing an Ibanez? Yeah, good luck with that, because I'm a big fan of Ibanez. So, yeah. You're in Boston, you're at the Best Western Roundhouse, you're in that round building. I wouldn't go out at night. That's right on the edge of between nice and not so nice. I'd stay indoors around the roundhouse. If you got out, I'd head up towards the city and not the other way. My Strats have hot rails in the bridge, great pickups. Have you tried it? Yeah, I had a Strat for a very short time with the hot rails and the vintage rails, and I thought they sounded great. I was a fan. PRS SE or Chapman ML1. In terms of neck feel, I like this, but this is the ML1 Pro. I'd have to try the import one. Hey, Justin. Thanks, buddy. That's the PRS fund coming. It's getting there. It's going, I actually was shopping recently, but none of them looked that great. Not, enough of what I was willing to spend. Again, I'm looking used, as I always do. But one will come around. There was a few in a row that I missed out on. I would say the one that hurt the most was they had a McCarty solid rosewood neck 10 top. They wanted $24.99. It was $1,000 off, $14.99. It sold pretty quickly after they dropped the price, and that one was regrettable. Lobster rolls do roll. Steve, are you still using Revolver TH3? Right now I'm using TH3. I still use Revolver. They did an update not too long ago that was, added a few more features. The problem with Revolvers, they tried to do the instrument, make your Strat sound like a Les Paul and vice versa. It never works out that great. No one's done it really all that well yet. Maybe the Variax can do it if it uses hexaphonic, or, like the way Fender did it, right, with theirs, with their sort of, it went beyond just a straight up pickup going into an interface and getting, changed by software. It was more complicated than that to make it work correctly. Is this my Chapman or Bobby's? Well, this is neither. It's Chapman's. It's Chapman's Chapman. It's just on loan. This is a loaner. That's what we say in Boston. It's a loaner. My Alona. Tried Blue Cat? Yeah, we were just talking about Blue Cat earlier. I have. It sounds killer. So in fact, they just sent me a new update for the software, so I can't wait. You know who's sending me something cool, and I want to give him a big major props, is my pick man, Daw Man. Daw Man is awesome. He sent me a pick the other day. He sent me my annual round of picks. And a big fat sack of picks, but the cool thing is he's putting it in like a wooden pick box, and it's got like my name, like laser etched on it and everything. I was like, dude, bro, that's awesome. Can't wait. Should be here in about 3 weeks. Any chance of hearing a Rush riff? Yeah. Sound a little loud. Though in its defense, I've been beating it up pretty bad. There we go. That's good. I could use a slight adjustment. Speaking of DAWs, how do you record? Well, I've been using Sonar and Reaper for the longest time, and for analog recording, just a straight up guitar, I still think they're the best, But lately I've been getting into just quick assembly with Ableton. It's pretty fast just to throw together a quick groove. And then you can really just even export that out as audio and bring it straight into, even as multiple tracks, whatever, and bring it into Reaper or something like that, and then work with the analog audio. I don't think Ableton does analog. Like, for example, multiple takes, right? In Reaper, I can just set up a punch in and a punch out, and it'll just recycle, and I can make take after take after take. And then when it's done, I can listen to all the takes, the ones I like, discard all the ones I don't like, and say, yeah, save this one, and this one, and that's it. And it's awesome. So for analog recording of vocals and guitars and live instruments, it's a Reaper or Sonar. But for computer laying down like loops and stuff like that, I like Ableton. It can be pretty damn quick, and the great thing about it is that it just syncs everything up. You drag something in that's, set for 130 into an 80 BP track, and it just matches it. And the same thing is, like, sometimes I'll pull something in that's in the wrong key, and you can just double click it and transpose it, and then boom, it works perfectly. So Ableton is so fast. Cakewalk Sonar is free from BandLab now? Really? So they're going to do, what are they going to do? Like a freemium? Is it a freemium model? Is that what they're going to do? I don't know. How are they going to do it? Are you into metal. Probably not. It depends on how old you are. If you're, you know, a younger guy, then probably what you define as metal, I'm probably not that into. But yeah, I mean, I was into like Ozzy, you know, stuff like that. But like Van Halen isn't really metal. I really think of them as like rock, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the blues here. What's up, buddy? What should I say? G'day, mate. Fruity Loops? Yeah, you know, I never tried Fruity Loops, but that's another one that's out there. Platinum Sonar is free. Are you seriously right now? They're doing Platinum Sonar for free. Something that Gibson was charging, what, $500 for? No lie, Steve. Please try Studio One. It will change your life. That's PreSonus, right? PreSonus makes Studio One. How about some Ramones? Jeez, you'd think I would know some off the top of my head, but I don't. I mean, are they just a straight up 1-4-5 blues? The free sonar relates to an artist version. Don't be fooled. Ho, ho, ho. What's up, Steve-O179? Yeah, rock and roll high school. It's got to be like a, right? Steve, thoughts on Friedman amps? They're killer. I mean, they're a little pricey, but, you know, the guy can get the money for them because he puts that kind of money and crazy time into it. They really do sound amazing. You know who I saw Monday night? Speaking of Friedman, this past weekend, out of the blue on Sunday, I get a text going, "Yo, Steve, what's up? It's Phil X. I'm gonna be in town tomorrow night." Then I get a text from Robert Baker going, "Yeah, Phil X asked me for your info. I hope it was cool to give it to him." And you know, of course, my spidey sense is going off. I'm like, "What?" But it really was Phil. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be in town." He goes, "I don't know if you want to come to the show or, you know," he goes, "We don't have any comp tickets," which makes sense, right? Boston. If there's one place, John Bon Jovi has a lot of friends that's there. So he couldn't get me one of the band comp tickets, but he could get me like really killer seats. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get like the cheapest seats I can get just to get me in the door. And he got me a backstage pass, which was like super sweet. And I was able to get there early and meet up with Phil. And he was like, "Go up on stage." I went up on stage, took a nice photo, and was, you know, it was cool hanging out back there with him and the other guitar player in the band, and two super cool dudes. And then the opening act showed up, and it was getting crowded. So I said, I'll head up and get my seats and get out of there. So I go up, and I'm like right behind the stage. I sort of sorted by price. Just went like with the cheapest seat that was like at the end of a row. And I go up to my seats and I'm sitting next to this this guy and girl and their brother and sister. And, they've been drinking a little bit. They're having a good time. We're just sort of shooting the breeze. And the opening act finishes up. The house lights come up. And she's going to go get another round. And so I'm a big guy. I'm like, well, I just get up and get out of the row. So they're like, no, I'm fine. And she's going to go over because there's nobody in the row in front of us, and then there's people down there and whatever. So she starts to go over, and she lost her balance. And when I tell you, she took a header, I mean, just boom, right on the stairs. It was like, oh, my God. And, I'm not the type of dude when someone gets hurt that I laugh. I don't find it funny. I know a lot of people do. I don't know if it's a nervous laughter or what. I mean, like a movie like Jackass is funny because they've signed up for it, right? Or in the movies, it can be funny because it's fake. But when someone like takes a header and her face like smashes off the staircase, I don't find it funny. I was like, oh my God. It's like I ran down. She wasn't out, but she was dazed. I mean, I was like, I should go get someone. And the brother came down. He's like, no, we're all set. Well, someone must have seen it because dude came running in. He's like, hold on. He's going to go get help. They sort of went out to go get I think she went to the ladies' room. And, they got split up, and there was a little bit of chaos. And Chuck, no, you rock, dude. You got to give me a request or something. So eventually, she shows up, and she leaves. One of the dudes shows up, and she leaves, and then the brother shows up. Where's my sister? I'm like, I don't know. She wasn't here. And there's 3 young girls behind me, Irish. They got a strong Irish accent. They're like, oh, she wouldn't have been falling down if she wasn't so drunk. So I was laughing my ass off. And they basically tracked her down to make her sign a release. When they came back, I was like, geez. He goes, yeah, they found us. They just wanted us to sign a piece of paper basically saying that we were okay and we were fine to leave the stadium. And it was like, oh, okay. And then they didn't make it halfway through Bon Jovi and they were gone, maybe even a quarter of the way through. And so, I don't know. She had to be concussed. I mean, I can't see her hitting concrete like that without suffering a concussion. I mean, it was a hit. Never a dull moment. Chuck says Spanish Fly. Why, I oughta. Oh, Spanish Fly, all right. Yeah, so it's, all right. I suck at it. Then it goes, no. There it is. That's about where I stopped reading the magazine. Yeah, that's tough. I never really learned it because, it sort of was a can't win, don't try, scenario. Even Eruption, CK, thanks, CK. What's up, buddy? Ever heard Band Maid? No. Band Maid? Is that a band? Or is that I don't know what that is. Hold on. To the internet. Band. Oh, Band Maid. Band Maid Tour. I'm thinking Band Maid's a band. Oh, yeah, out of Tokyo. Bandmaid, stylized as Bandmaid, formerly as Bandmaid, is a Japanese rock band formed in 2013. So is it like baby metal? Is it an attempt at baby metal? Because I saw baby metal a couple of years ago, and they were hot, and they seem to be over. So they're all female. That's like, well, yeah. I guess they're really not all female in baby metal. But are they metal? Hold on. Well, you know what? I'm not going to play. I was going to play a little bit, but if it comes through and goes on here, I could get flagged for copyright. So I better just to not poke that hornet's nest. But I'll check them out after the show. I thought baby metal was funny, but when I went to see them, the band was killer, but the girl wasn't that good a singer. She couldn't pull it off. She was flat. She was out of key pretty much the entire night. Steve of the Steve from Boston Guitar Picks for Sale. No, but I'll talk to the pick guy and see what we can work out, if anything. Because I've been so far, the only thing I've been doing is just giving them away. Or he can make it like a free add-on to anybody who buys like a pick pack through him. Just because it's like, what's he going to pay me on a pick, right? At some point, it's like, but then it feels weird to have somebody else like profit from your logo, right? So it's all a rich tapestry. Steve, your Chapman looks and sounds killer. Great. Everybody send Chapman a note. Say, you should let Steve keep it. It sounds really awesome. Steve, I'm a beginner at guitar. I've been watching you play in Ever Thin Line telecast. I was wondering if you can give me some tips on guitar playing. You know what? Practice every day instead of 3 hours on Sunday. And, so like everyday practice is like just playing it every day. Because I haven't played guitar in like 2 weeks, and I think it shows. I can feel it. And then always work with some sort of beat reference. And by that I mean you're playing to the actual song, you're playing to a metronome, or you're playing to some sort of drum machine, beat buddy, whatever you got. But don't just sit there and work out your own time in the middle of a room, because you find out later it's not as rock solid as you thought it was, right? Frank says, when will we hear the Hughes and Kettner? Very, very soon. God, I have been like, first of all, let me just apologize straight up to Hughes and Kettner for taking forever to get that into my lineup. But, I did the studio, and then I felt the studio was too short, and I wanted to extend it, which is the best thing I ever did. Thank God I did that, because that has really worked out for me. And I want to run it through the reload box. I got to get that set up. You know what really happened? I ran out of outlets. And I just bought 2 more 12-outlet strips. I have a 12-outlet strip back here. All 12 outlets are used. So, including one of them that goes to another 6-unit strip. So, I use a lot of electricity. None of it is it's all micro amps, right? None of it is very strong. It's all LED bulbs. I'm probably pulling, 3 watts. It's like nothing. But, yeah, I just got to get them mounted and get everything going, but soon, really soon. That is on like the top of my to-do list. Is because once I get that going, I can do all kinds of effects through it. You know, it just opens up the floodgates for all kinds of other videos. You know, plus Music is Win just got one. That son of a bitch, he's gonna beat me to the video. He's always one step ahead. See, like that was way off. See, like that's the stuff that you miss out when you don't play on a regular basis. Steve, what's your profession besides YouTuber extraordinaire? Mostly IT. Just bought an American Showster. Savant 3, nice. The spots where you don't play are as important as what you play. Yeah, that's especially for bass players. So it's not played. It's 8:05. Is it time for a guitar change? I don't know, man. I'm loving this guitar. See you, Jeremy. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Thanks, Padre Roberto. Longtime viewer from time to time, catching live stream. Love your channel. Thanks, buddy. See, Mel O'Brien's talking about figuring out a tune. He says, you know, what you'll do is you'll recognize patterns and realize that, you know, there's lots of... That's where that Ricky Rooksby book will come in. Because you'll realize that a lot of the same patterns are just used over and over and over and over and over, right? So, that's where something like that, you'd be like, oh my God, that's like a dozen songs. And it really is. Steve, do you have a Boston sound in the THC? You know, for a Boston sound, right, it wouldn't have to be like stereo. And that's probably the closest I have, but I have a... See, that's not right. That's not right either. It needs more of a... That's closer, right? Right, with that big mid push. We could go through and... I like the stereo on that, you know. But again, I'm still not hearing that wicked mid push that he used to do. It's still not, you know, quite there. Queen Sue is never off pitch. She must have been playing. Maybe, but we wearing earplugs, and you know, it tends to really expose. Ever heard any show? Yeah, I don't think I have. But again, I'll look it up. Which tone was which one? The wide one. I think that's double lead. That one, that's called double lead. And it's a THD in one ear and over loud, high wattage in the other. And then this is modern clean. Is Phil X still with Bon Jovi? He is. He sounded killer. His guitar sounded killer. And so did the other dudes. They both sounded great. Had a good mix. Goes to show you where sound technology has just really come. They sounded amazing. Pink Floyd. What can we do for Pink Floyd? Does anybody remember? What's that? Let's see. The D. Let's see. Right. Some sunny day. What has become of? Is it was Phil X using his famous guitar? He was using a number of famous guitars. Yeah. The SGs and yeah, he had the gold one. He had the it's like a teal that's all sort of beat up. Yeah. Steve, have you ever heard of the guitarist Tosin Abasi? Of course, and Band Animals as leaders. Of course, yeah. Very technical, odd time signature stuff, extended range. God, the guy's all about extended range. And and he's pretty much it's Tosin is leader, right? Because isn't he pretty much the head of that band? That is sort of his project. What's up, Eric? Any Nils Lofgren? Not off the top of my head. Tosin or Marcus Miller? Well, Marcus Miller is a bass player. You mean Martin Miller? He's a guitar player. But Tosin and Marcus Miller are two completely different instruments. Although, admittedly, Tosin's hitting a lot of bass registers. I gotta do for a... What is extended range? Just beyond the range of a 6-string guitar. Even a 7-string is really considered extended range. 8-string, 9-string, 10-string. How was John's voice? He sounded great. They really did. I was like, damn. The guy, man, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. And they did, Bad Name pretty early in the set. And, that's that's got some vocals to it. He was nailing it. Like any band, the songs they write later are a little easier for them to sing because they design them that way. And the older songs can be a little trickier. Sting has a lot of key regret. He's got to change a lot of his keys because he's like, man, what was I thinking? What's up, Pogie? Hey, in the blues. I think he was just saying he was taking off. I know. Let's see. When will we see the return of the Micro Les Paul? Yeah, I know. Really? That's right there. It's right there. Yeah, we'll have to do something with it. I'll have to do a little something with it. I'll have to write a little song. Shoot a little video. Oh, the jokes, they write themselves. How's that, Chapman? It's killer. We've been talking about it all night. You got your stainless steel frets, your ebony fingerboard, your mahogany wings with a maple neck through design, nice flambe maple cap with extra flambés. Nice. Yeah, slide guitar really can be extended range because you... That's sweet. Fingernail slide. I think I'm going back to my metal sound. Yeah, that's weird, Terry. Yeah, you're right, Terry. That's weird. Hold on. How? I gotta make sure. Hold on. I gotta. First of all, I gotta make sure I stop this and I go to the right there. I think I fixed it, Terry. Problem is, it was going a little fast, and I didn't want to elevate somebody else by accident. Then you got to take it away, and it always feels cruel. We covered Accept back in the day. That's how I know it. We need a studio tour vid. Yeah, that's on the agenda. That is totally on the agenda. You know what? I finished the rest of the studio. That's what it took. I had to finally do it. Thanks for hanging out, Scott. Udo. I'm running Windows 10. Someone said you run at 7 or 10. I'm running 10. Use Windows 7 for audio production. Yeah, 10's been working okay. I know what you're saying, though. 10 can be kind of a bitch. Eric likes the 80s nostalgia. Beer time? I don't think I have any beer. I think I'm out. It's a little out. Oh, I've been beating up on it a little bit. Yeah. That I've been bending that string particularly much. That'll do it. There we go. Try that for Chuck again. See, I already screwed it up. That's about all I know. And then I'm out. Which stand electro guitars do you have, Steve? I only have the 59X. Did they send you a guitar too? I want the baritone, and I want the 12 string. Let me form my list of demands. I need the baritone. John says, I bet the Carvin can do the harmonics. I'm sure it could. That's got some great pickups in it. I like those pickups. Mickey really wants that Tele. Yeah, the Tele might be a little tricky to get. I could switch out for the 59X or the Harley Benton, but I don't know. I kind of like this. I don't know if I want to switch out. And this one has to go back soon, so I might want to get my mileage out of it. You got the 84 and the 64, yeah. I want the I think it's the 66 in a I think they call it BT, right, which is like B for baritone and T for tremolo. And the 12 string. If you were going to buy one Steve Vai related Ibanez, what model would you recommend? Well, I obviously it'll be the Gem, right? The Gem 777. But, I kind of like the floral pattern, but it's a more limited audience, I think. If you want very quick and easy resale, probably the white, right? It's going to be your easiest one. Easiest one to acquire and easiest one to sell. Once you go past 6 strings to 7 strings, it becomes a whole nother ball game because it's a much tighter market. So, like if you want to pick up a Universe, you better get it used for short money and be willing to take a little hit on it because the 7 strings are tougher to sell. They really are. You still have the diamond guitar? I do. It's right there. I'm touching it right now. I got a new bedroom set showing up on Tuesday, so I've been painting. I have probably see like right there? Right here and there and there and there. I restained the woodwork and polyurethaned it. So I've been sniffing fumes all day, but I had to get that out of the way, and then I'll paint the room tomorrow. I already did the ceiling, already did the crown molding, and I got to say, my painting skills are on point, okay? One thing I can say, I can't paint anything, other than a wall for the ceiling, but you know what? I'm pretty good. I can cut a line. I never tape. I'm pretty damn good. So I got the woodwork done today. Man, it came out freaking awesome. And it's the last room that we never really did over. So new bedroom set comes on Tuesday, and by that we should have the whole room cleared out and finally get the floor completely washed and cleaned, and it's a hardwood floor, and then ready for those guys to come Tuesday. So what kind of camera are you using for these shows? This is a Logitech. For these shows, I use a Logitech. For my pre-recorded stuff, I use a Lumix. Yeah, to the 3. Just drop a bit of Bon Jovi in the mix, yeah. 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 Always sound good with like this, you know. You don't want that beat to ring out. It's like a 2, right? Sus 2. Something like that. Wrong mouse. This mouse. Yeah, that's what I use. No, it's not is it the 930? I think it's the 920. I'm pretty sure it's the 920. Good late 80s or early 90s Ibanez for the beginner. Yeah, the RG5 series. That was pretty much their budget series at the time until they went to a Korean model. And they're made in Japan. And you can find them out there. So you want the 550, the 560, or the 570. The 570, you have to kind of be careful because they made that much later, well into the 90s and even into the 2000s, I think. Or right up to 2000 or so. And that can be sort of all over the place with neck profiles and stuff. So you really want to get between like 88 and 92. And 550, 560, 570. You know, it's 2 doubles in a single, or a single double with the 560, and the difference between the 70 and the 50 is pick guard and no pick guard. Have you ever had one of the Agile guitars on the channel? No, but a buddy of mine has a few Agiles, but they're lefty. Believe it or not, you can get a feel for the neck just by picking it up. But you don't really get to play it. But they felt great. They certainly were great quality. I was impressed. You know, it seemed like pretty nice stuff. And you know, people, they got a following. People love that Rondo stuff, those Agiles, man. Really? Someone wants the semi-hollow? Does Chuck want the semi? Chuck Tickets, bust out the semi-hollow. Different Chuck, though. 1:25 here in the UK. What time are you all at? We're at 8:28 p.m. I'm at 8:28 p.m. Midnight in Germany, yeah, it's up there. 1:31 here. The clock is slow. Yeah, the semi-hollow though, that's buried. It's not. You mean that up there? That's a fully hollow. I don't think that's semi. I think that's full-on hollow. When you say the semi-hollow, you mean the red one? That's kind of buried. Sorry. Your opinion on Fran fret guitars? I think they're sort of necessary if you're really very low in pitch, because or guitars that are, again, extended range, 8 strings. I think it makes a difference. I think that you get better intonation. That's a lie. It's 2:30 a.m. in Germany too. Yeah, I guess it depends on which side you're on. Yeah, I like multiple time zones in the U.S. too. My friends out west are like at 5:30. The sun isn't even down yet. Ours is long down. People want me to play the Hailfire, play the Mini Les Paul. We'll see here. How come Henning never stops by here? He's in bed. He's sleeping. Eric says, do you have a Steinberger guitar? I do not. Back in the day, you could have got those. They were actually still pretty pricey back then. Maybe $1,500 or so, but of course, back then, $1,500 was a lot more money than it is today. Sun doesn't set there till after 9. Wow. Yeah, we're still, we don't get there until about July. Then we get around 9 o'clock. It's our like latest night. Pickups on this guitar are the Chapman Sonoris. Pretty awesome. I think they sound good. Is it a no? The coil tap is through here. Yeah. Gonna try an aux. You know, I don't have one. Come at me, Universal Audio. I mean, the IRs, the amp through, and that's sort of my thing. Let's do this, bro. Thoughts on Amplitude? I get asked that all the time. I like Amplitude. I do think TH3 is better. TH3 is the one to beat. You know, for a while, I think other people were doing better than TH2, but TH3 came out and reclaimed the top spot. What's up, Christian? Does it have locking tuners? It does. It's got those, like, I don't know if you can see it. See how you can almost, yeah, like right there, you can see it. They're like open, right? You can see the gears. Is he getting? That's kind of cool. Makes it look wicked classy. Sunset's there around 11 in the summer. Yeah, our latest is around 9 p.m. in the summer. And then in the winter, the worst of the winter, we set about maybe 4:10, 4:15 in the afternoon, somewhere around there. Someone said, what about Helix? I talked about that earlier. 1.0 and 1.1, no. 1.5, much better. 1.1, but it's still not as good as TH3. You know, they're all playing catch-up to TH3 as far as I'm concerned. And again, it's just what you like. S-Gear is really good. Someone wrote S-Gear. Scuffum S-Gear is actually really good. My only gripe with S-Gear is that I want more, right? It's too few amps. You want a Boston sound, you could get it out of a Scuffum amp. They've got a real mid-push amp. One of their amps is a super mid-push. Like the Duke or one of them. I forget now, but one of them's pretty up there. But, you know, Scuffum makes good stuff. You know, Scuffum's good. Thumbs up on Scuffum. Steve, have you ever played any BC Rich guitars? Yeah, sure, over the years. But, you know, there's a company that was an American company, and suddenly they were an overseas company. And in the late 80s, BC Rich was really hot with their overseas stuff. I forget if it was Indonesia or Korea, but it could have been made in Japan, but I don't think so. It was either Indonesia or Korea. They had a huge surge, and but I wasn't part of it because we weren't a BC Rich dealer. Yeah, no new Parkers these days. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting the Parker. Was it the Fly Deluxe there? The real nice one. You can get them used around $1,800, $2,000 if you bide your time and wait. A lot of people want $2,500, but you can get one around $2,000, $1,800. But you gotta wait and bide your time. But want to show up with graphite neck. Tried the new Own Hammer Greenback IR. I have not. Own Hammer makes good IRs though. I really use Rosen Digital and 3 Sigma. Those are the two brands I tend to use. Says, I used to own a BC Rich Mockingbird, and it was amazing. Yeah, a friend of mine had a Mockingbird that he really loved. And then when the Ibanez craze came out, he wound up selling it to get a really nice top-of-the-line Ibanez, like a 700 series or something like that. And He regretted it. He really loved that Mockingbird. He should have just kept it. It was a USA-made Mockingbird. It, I could tell he was totally bummed that he did that deal. We've all been there. Check out Ken Parker, Archtop Jazz Guitars. All right. We'll give him a look. How we doing for time? Oh, we got 20 minutes left. You remember Brian Moore guitars? I do. Those were pretty nice guitars. I played Brian Moore guitars at Manny's in Times Square. I was down there for some work. I was working in the Rockefeller building at Rockefeller Plaza. And they had me staying at, is it the Millennium? What's the one, like literally right in the square? I forget the name of the hotel, but it's like literally. I was in my hotel, I was looking out the window, and all of a sudden I see a sign, Sam Ash and Manny's, like right outside my window. I was like, oh, they can't. Like, went running out of there. I was bored out of my skull. Went running out of there and over to Manny's, and I played a Brian Moore. And they were busy. Sam Ash was a dump. I don't know if that was like a warehouse or whatever, but every guitar was accessible and they were all beat up. The Sam Ash I went to when I went there last summer, was completely different. Much nicer, nice high-end store. The Sam Ash, when I went, that was in it could have been 2000, probably 2000, 2001. It was 2000. It was a dump, and Manny's blew it away. It was really nice. I remember playing the Brian Moore there. Yeah. Do. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Have you been in Germany before? Yes, I was just there this past fall, and I'll be going again soon. I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but I'm coming back to Germany. So I think sometime in May. Play the Soul to Highway Star. I don't recall it. I used to know it note for note, but I haven't played it in years. I wouldn't even know where to start. I'd have to review it again. Steve, any chance of you coming over to the UK? I would like to do that. I wouldn't mind planning a Europe, one of the trips to Germany, maybe on the leg back, make a stopover in the UK for a day or two, and then continue on back home. But I don't know. We'll see. The cost just starts to ratchet up very quickly. And as you know, everything in the UK is expensive. So it makes it doubly expensive. Yeah, Manny's is closed now. I think they were bought by Sam Ash, right? Didn't Sam Ash buy Manny's? Pretty sure that's what happened. What happened to you going to Russia? I don't know. That was with the Pick Company. So I could talk about them again. That was going to be in, I think it's in September that they do the Russian NAMM. But I don't know. I'm actually going for my global entry to get fingerprinted, so I don't have to go in the long line. I can go in the short line. Thanks for hanging out, Craig. Yeah, man, he's close to 2009. Yeah, I think I was there in 2000. Flights are cheap when traveling in Europe. Yeah, it's getting out of Europe and then back home. Right? That's where it gets a little tricky. Yeah, someone's confirming Manny's was bought by Sam Ash. Yeah, that's what I had heard, that Sam Ash bought him up. You know, and now Sam Ash is feeling the pinch from, Guitar Center, and everybody's feeling the pinch from Amazon, so, and just direct sales. So it'll be interesting to see how the market changes. It's really changed in the last 30 years, that's for sure. What's the name of the guitar Vivian Campbell played? Well, Vivian Campbell used to have a signature Kramer, right? The Night something, Nighthawk, Night something. Can't think. Someone will know it. It had the inlays, right? Night Swan. Was it the Night Swan? Yeah, I'll let you know, Eric. I'm not really sure. That might be a possibility. Let me find out what's going on with the May trip. I don't even know where it's at. Right? I could be in the middle of nowhere. So I think they want me to fly into Nuremberg. So there's a hint. The Night Wind. Yeah, but I said Night Swan before you wrote it. Sam Astor's only competition is Sweetwater. In terms of that's a good question. Like who gives good customer service? And I think Sweetwater has a pretty good rep, right? Although I will say, I bought a heater off of Amazon for like $160, and the next day it was $125, and I called them right. I tried to cancel it, and I couldn't. It had already started the shipping process. I called them up, and I was like, "Really? Really?" And they're like, "Well, we don't really price match." I was like, "Really?" Because I'll just refuse it. He was like, "All right, we'll knock it down," and they did. They knocked off. It was like almost $40 on a $160 product. Yeah, thank you. He did it. Your opinion on the Kramer Pacer Classics? I own one. I like it. I think I might be on the hunt for one of the mid-priced ones that they came out with, right? With the solid maple bodies there, and like pretty much an all maple with the Seymour Duncans. They were, I don't know, were they $1,000 or $1,200, something like that, new, and you can get them used for like half of that, less. So, and then the other one is the real over-the-top one. Is it the SM1? Right, the Showmaster. That's killer. Again, you got to find one used. And I think the white and the black are two slightly different pickup configurations. Yeah, So Jeff's saying he's liked the service. Sweetwater might have been one of the companies that was sort of cold calling me to see if I was okay with any new products, and I wasn't too happy about that. It's like, don't call me and try and sell me over the phone. But I luckily I never picked it up because I didn't recognize the number, and it just looked like any call, life insurance call. It's like, please. So I never answered it, but it's like, hey, it's just Jeff from Sweetwater, making sure you're okay with all your gear. Shows here that back in 2008 you bought a TDIF cable from us. How's that cable working out? Okay. It's like, dude, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me. Best guitar store in Boston doesn't have to actually be in Boston. I would say Matt's, I think, is one of the better stores. Killer selection and pretty good guys. They're one of the better stores. I forget if it's Mr. C's or Mr. Music or whatever over in Alston. That guy's always had a pretty decent little store. But Matt's is more high end and boutique, and pretty nice. I really like Matt's, and I like the people there too. And then for acoustics, what's the one up there in, is it Concord? Is it Music Emporium, right? Where the cheapest acoustic is like $1,800. Thanks, Michael. Nice tone. Do you give Skype lessons? I've thought about it, but I barely have time to make videos, so I haven't, maybe in the future I'll come up with something, or maybe a lesson video plan or something. Yeah, I'd like to do more with lessons. I just got to get a couple of big major projects done. And I'm saying that every couple of weeks, right, guys? I mean, I feel like a broken record over here. How much to buy the Gibson company? Well, remember, when you buy a company, you don't just buy the assets. You also buy the liabilities. So you're buying, right? I think it's like a couple of $1 billion in liabilities. Well, how much is that worth? Forget about the assets. Look at the liabilities. You heard I did a Viper review? What? Yeah, that was for a select few over on the Steve from Boston Platinum channel. I could give you that URL, but it's going to cost you. What's up, Mr. BHB? Unfortunately, you're getting here towards the end. Ooh, that sucked. Thanks for hanging out, Steve. See you, bud. What's up, Chris? Thoughts on Schecters? I like Schecters. I like that Super Shredder, Sun Valley Super Shredder with the Sustainiac. Why I oughta. What do you think about those new Silver Sky? We talked about it earlier. I like it. You get my extended thoughts earlier in the broadcast. What strings are on the Chapman? I don't know. I think they came with the DYXL, but I broke the G string almost immediately within 3 seconds of playing it. Boing. So this right now has a set of clear tones on it. Doing the clear tones. Because it's what I had. And these are 10s. But Bottom line, Gibson is passing their debt on to us. You know what? They were a pretty profitable company when they were just a guitar company. It's what's so maddening. It's like they're so worried about just shrinking market share that they wanted to expand into electronics. So like the kids, they love the electronics, but it's a cutthroat market. That market is super, super cutthroat. So, they found that out the hard way. Speaking of that, though, I got to say, I was looking at an Onkyo little mini bookshelf unit for the garage because I've got a workshop going out there. And I was like, oh, should we add a little bookshelf stereo out here? Maybe do a Yamaha makes one that's got like a front and rear firing speakers that people swear by. So Yamaha might get my money over Onkyo. Sorry, Onkyo. Favorite metal song? I don't think I have a favorite. It's hard to choose a favorite anything. Do we have to choose? I like it all. What could save Gibson? A bigger company with deeper pockets that could survive could just easily pay off that debt. A wealthy benefactor who just comes in and does it, but they'd want control. Gibson is not, and I can't state this enough, Gibson's not going to ever go away because the brand is just too valuable, I think. The brand doesn't have stank on it, right? Like some brands, they go down and people just say, oh, the brand gets a real bad rep. Now, they've been trying hard to get some stank on it with their quality control, but they still don't have it. They still have good resale value. They're still selling, guitars, and they're still doing pretty well. The problem is that they just have too much debt. That's really it. They tried to expand. It's the story you see over and over and over again, where a company expands too far, too fast, and they just can't pay the bills. They bought up all these other companies, and now they can't pay the bills. I mean, just selling Sonar helps do it, but that's peanuts compared to what they need. They need to sell like 1 million cakewalk companies to get the kind of money they need. Steve, how much do you think a Gibson custom Les Paul guitar should be? I think about $29.99, and I think a Gibson Les Paul standard should be about $22.99, maybe $19.99, if I'm being honest. But they'll never get that. It's always $1,000 more. But that's just me. All right, guys, you know what? I started a little early and probably going to end a little early. It's 8:57. Probably time to wrap this rodeo up. It's been great because the wife and kids went out to go see Isle of Dogs. So nobody home, don't have to scream up. I scared myself when I listened to the playback from last time. I was like, yeah. You could just see the anger boiling. Next time I know I can just... I'm all set. Work the old feet there, and I wasn't thinking. Anyway. All right, dudes. No, you rock. Special super thanks to anyone who contributed tonight, but especially Chuck, because he went the extra. That guy, he's crazy. I wish I could have played Spanish Fly better. I'm sorry, Chuck. We'll work on it for next time. But, it's a tough one. Could you have chosen an easier song? All right, dudes. You're awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out. Yeah, 8:58. Yeah, we're right on time. We're right on time. I mean, oh, wrong mouse. Someday I will get it correct. All right, dudes. I'm seeing Frank and Peter and Chuck and Mr. BHB and sorry, buddy. I know you just got here. And Mel and everybody. I appreciate you hanging in. Eric, my new German buddy, and Todd, of course. Okay, can't miss Todd. Of course, Kurt, of course, and of course Terry, and of course Quentin, and Mark, of course Mark, and Kurt, the other Kurt, you know, my friend Kurt, my other friend Kurt. All right, dudes, and great Vincini. Saw him go through. I'm scrolling up, and I'm ending this. All right, guys, as always, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, back to you, back there you are. I gotta go right here. All right, dudes, as always, thanks so much for hanging out. Had a great night. I had a lot of fun tonight. See you in a couple of weeks. And until then, as always, rock on. Later.